I'm Eva Shaw. I'm from Toronto. I'm a music producer and a DJ, and I do a lot of things. Kind of a jack of all trades. So that's me.
Bitch, I'm riding slow, practice, tryna live by the coast, by the ocean coast. They gon' pop your nose, got no top below. Down on my way on, down on my way on. Eat that product close, rockin' the product close. Fucky by the stove, chop me on the stove. I ain't got no time, yeah. Shawty got my shine.
I mean, I never really, other than doing interviews, I never really talk about, specifically what I do, because I also don't really know how to explain it either, because it's always different and it's always changing depending on like what I'm working on. So it can sound cheesy, I think, if you're like, well, I do this and this, and here's my list of accomplishments. So that's why you got to have a manager to talk for you. You just got to try doing things, and then you figure out later if it was smart or not. That's kind of, I think you have to just kind of make mistakes or not make mistakes and kind of learn that way. This was my first album, so I know that most people would say, don't do that many tracks. And I did a listening party in New York, and there was a few major labels there, and they were just kind of like, that sounds like a logistical nightmare, trying to get like all the paperwork done and everything. So it's definitely a lot, and especially for kind of like a more of an up and coming artist like me, to get people to listen to the whole thing is definitely more difficult than like if Drake were to drop an album with 27 tracks, so but I think the point of this album wasn't just to get like listens or support on all the tracks. The point of the album was to experiment, and kind of like, it was kind of for me to showcase what I can do. And the only way that I felt like I could do that properly is by having all these different styles and sounds, so that it's kind of like this journey of an album. You can't really do that with like 10 tracks on a debut album as a producer, I don't think.
The guitars like a rocker, roll like a rocker. I'm a rock star, you could call me rocker. I'm a rock star, ballin' like a baller, but I live like a motherfucking mobster. Went to Benihana just to eat some steak and lobster with your bitch. Yeah, she said I does it proper.
Being a DJ, I think I kind of have a sense for like general order of things, what I think sounds good after each other. And it's also just kind of like the newer songs like Easter Island I put toward the top, because like I want people to hear that. Solo is going to be the first track because that's like, the title of the album and stuff. But I definitely kind of like in the middle where the Townhouses is, that's kind of like the switch up point. I felt like that track was kind of different than anything else. And then it was a good kind of like transition moment to get into like the G House record with Juice, and then some like harder kind of like headbanging stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was definitely, it actually wasn't that hard to put in order for me. In terms of like just deciding what types of songs to make, I think the fact that I released so many singles leading up to it, that kind of made it easier. Like it's kind of like a compilation of a lot of tracks that I've dropped over the last, like the year prior to the album drop. So it's not like all of the songs were unreleased when I released it. I've always had it in my mind that I wanted to do an album, but I think just being a DJ and how much I was like touring and stuff, I didn't have time for that. Like I only was releasing like 1 or 2 songs a year before that, which is like not enough to, I think, get to like a next level in your career. So I just was like, okay, I haven't released enough music, so let me just go crazy like while I'm all locked up and stuff, because now's the time to do it,
Is there one on there that kind of stands out to you amongst this body of work in this group?
I mean, I really like Outside with Jazz Cartier and Chris's Spirit, because I feel like I'm proud of the production work on it, and I think the guys do a great job on vocals on that one. And it's just like, it's so hard and aggressive, and it just sounds great. It's just, I love that track. And we're still going to be pushing all the records too. Like, that's a pretty new one as well. along with Easter Island, I like as well a lot. And Paranoid, the last track, I think is really weird. And I think that one was kind of like harder to get done because it's kind of all over the place. And for me, a lot of these tracks, I kind of was like performing surgery on them the whole time. Like there's so many different artists, so that I kind of would have like one verse from somebody and then I'd have to like get somebody else that would also like fit on it. And it was just kind of like constant like switching up the beats and just trying to make it all fit. That and Paranoid was one of the tracks that I had to do that a lot of times on. Like I changed the music a million times. I had like so many different rappers on there, and I had to take some people off and like swap it. So that one changed a lot, and I think it turned out very like fun and unique at the end of it. Instagram and Twitter and everything is at Eva Shaw, EVASHAW. And my TikTok is Eva Shaw TikTok, which I'm trying to make it Eva Shaw at Eva Shaw, but somebody's got it. So
Damn her.
everybody DM them and get them to give it to me.
Right.
Hey, my name's Eva Shaw, and you've just been buzzed.